Hey you, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am super excited because I kind of have like a little mini Morphe haul that I had placed an order on a couple of weeks ago, probably about a month ago now at this point, and the products are here and they've just kind of been sitting here and I have yet to touch them. I've been waiting to have time to film this video, so I'm very excited, and I have some new products, new to me products that I'm really excited about, and some old favorites. So if you are excited to see what I have picked up on this little mini Morphe haul, then please keep watching. Okay, so as you can tell, I have my base pretty much all the way done, which means I must have some new eye products and things, which I do. And I am very excited because I wasn't planning on picking any of this stuff up. Like, I had literally talked myself out of it. I was like, I don't need another palette, and I still don't need this palette. However, there was a big flash sale on Morphe and everything was like 50% off. So I went ahead and got some items that I wanted, and just a couple things I needed to stock up on. And I splurged a little bit. I mean, this was not a financial splurge by any means, but I did go ahead and pick up the Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals palette, which is the product that, no, I don't need another neutral eyeshadow palette. And I had convinced myself that, you know, like, I have plenty of neutrals and I already don't do my makeup every day. And in my mind, this was supposed to be 50% off, and when I bought it, it actually, the sale did not go towards this because it was a new release. But honestly, I wasn't hurt about it because I would have bought it regardless. I mean, this right here was only $18, which is a steal, and I have seen and watched many reviews, and this has raving reviews, so I think that it will be good. And yes, if you've watched me, you know that I am a Jaclyn Hill fan. I love everything Jaclyn. I support her. She also did just launch her very own Jaclyn Roxanne. It's a jewelry line. I am very interested in some pieces. I actually have this earring right here, which is very similar to one of hers that she created, which I won't pick that up because I got these at Target and they're the same thing. But there are some pieces I am interested in. So a good Christmas present for my husband if he watches this. But yeah, so I picked up the Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals palette. Haven't opened it. I also picked up the Jaclyn Hill X Morphe the Master Remix Collection brush set. So she has launched brushes with Morphe well over like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and they were a huge success, and she even tried to create some brushes on her own brand, Jaclyn Cosmetics, that's not affiliated with Morphe. And she literally tells everybody she no longer plans to create brushes for her brand because the ones that she made for Morphe are just so spot on, and Morphe is a company that is able to sell them for such a good price, and she would not be able to do that as a starting company. So I went ahead and bought the Jaclyn Hill the Master Remix Collection. It is 15 custom eye and face brushes. This is not her original. This is like her favorite brushes, I believe, from the original launch. So you can still get the original launch, and you can also get the remixed version, and this was half off. So I'm pretty sure this was like $80 and I ended up getting it for $40. It was something along those lines. So got a good steal on that, and I have not opened that obviously. And I did go ahead and pick up the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I have been out for a while of the original. I have just a little bit of the Jeffree Star collab. But I do really love this, and these were $16 normally, and I got them for $8. So I got 2 of them for the price of 1, which was a super awesome deal. So those are the like things that I picked up. Like I said, it was a very mini haul. I literally got sucked in last minute. I was like, whoops, sorry, gotta have it. And I bought it, and then I was like, did I really do that? Did I really need it? No, and then it showed up on my doorstep, and I was like, yes, I'm so glad I did it. So, I'm going to go ahead and unbox the brushes. They do not come, her original set comes with like a makeup bag, and it's like silver and sparkly, but these do not, since this is the remix collection, which is fine because I don't use those. So we have all of these brushes. Like I said, there's 15 custom eye and face brushes. So we're just gonna like, we're gonna unwrap them together. And I will use the eye brushes on my eye today with the eyeshadow palette. So it looks like the first one that I am undoing is the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH50 Looks like a nice blending brush type thing with a little bit of a flatter, it's like kind of like a shader, a little bit flatter. Very nice. I left one in the package. We also have this really nice like pencil brush. I don't know if it says, oh, yes it does. So on the back of the box it tells you what you're supposed to use each brush for, or like the type of brush that it is, but obviously in makeup you can break the rules if you want. It doesn't have to be meant for eye or whatever. So the one I first opened, the JH50, she has marked as a slightly shady brush is what this one is called. So good brush for shading, but obviously can be used for other things. The next one we have is the JH52. This is a detail obsessed brush, so a really good brush for detail work. I'm excited about this one. I think that will be very handy for me. The next one we have, I probably should have like opened all of these beforehand, but I really wanted to do like a legitimate unboxing, so we're doing it. So sorry if this video is so long because I'm unwrapping things. I'll try to cut it out. So the next one that we have is the JH48. Is it 48? Yes, 48. And this one is called the Cover Story Brush. So just a small little shader. And let's see, this one looks like a nice one. And by the way, I don't know if you've ever used a Morphe brush. There are some Morphe brushes that I'm not a fan of, but overall Morphe brushes are the way to go when you're first starting out. They're very cheap and they're good quality for what they are at that price point. And these are just, I mean, these are so soft. They're very, very nice. So this one is the JH51, and this is the Nice and Precise brush. Nice and Precise. Like I said, they're very, very soft bristles. And I do have some Morphe brushes. I have some of them that they're new, very, very unused because they're kind of scratchy on my eye. And now that I have blinged brushes, it's like a different type of quality. And so I'm very spoiled in that sense. But I also have some Morphe brushes that I use all the time and they don't feel scratchy on my eye. So I'm not sure on that. But literally when I first started out, all I've ever used is Morphe brushes. So it's a good place to start if you're looking for a good brush. This is the JH44, and this is a Shadow Hustle brush. So whatever that means. So, but it's a nice, precise, flat, like shader. Good work for like maybe a cut crease, doing a slight cut crease there maybe. I don't know. I don't really do that very often, so I could just totally be wrong. Ooh, this one looks like it would be good for that too. This eye brush. This is the JH46, and this is a Mighty Define brush. So this would definitely be good for also doing like a cut crease in my opinion, to make sure it's very, very defined. It's very stiff. So then that way you could get a nice line, or if you have hooded eyes, to like stamp this and create like your own faux crease, you could totally do that too. The next one almost looks like a lip brush, but I don't think that's what it's for. This is the JH47. This is an eyeliner brush. So this is a nice eyeliner brush, very nice. And I believe I have three more eye brushes. So it seems like this is definitely more of an eye collection, which is good. I believe these are the ones that she has mixed together, her like favorite ones out of from her original. So this is the JH49. This is a brow brush. So you have the angled brush there, and then you have the spoolie at the end. Probably won't use this one as much. I have so many of those, but as you know, I rarely do my brows. I did do them for this. I just don't worry about it. I don't care. No one's looking at me going, oh, she didn't do her brows. Like, no one cares. At least not in my line of work. No one cares. So this brush is the JH15. This kind of has a slight angle. That's pretty interesting. This one is JH15 Know Your Angles brush. Know Your Angles brush. So I'm not sure exactly what you would use it for per se, but like what she has designed it for. That's something that I might have to link down her original like launch of this, and maybe she'll go through and like explain what these are for in her mind. But obviously, like I said, you can break the rules and do whatever you want. This one just looks like your standard blending brush. This is the JH45, and this is the Blending Boss brush. Blending Boss. I like that it's kind of a more flat one, not as like poofy and round, a little bit flatter. That's nice. And then I think this is the last eye brush, and this one definitely a shader. JH53. This is the Faux Chisel brush. You could use this to shade. You could use this to maybe do brows. I don't know. Do whatever you want with it. So those seem to be all the eye brushes, and then what I have left are 3 face brushes. So I think that's interesting that it's more of an eye collection. So unsure on why, but this looks like a nice powdered brush. This is the JH13. Ooh, this is very soft. Yep, powder player brush. Very nice powder brush to use. Very soft. I love face brushes right when they're new. They're so just amazing. The next one is, now this thing is like mega. So this looks like a giant powder brush. This is the JH11. This is the Sweeping Beauty brush. So I'm guessing just sweeping powder or blush, whatever you wanted. This is incredibly soft. Oh my goodness. It's like an angel just touching your face. You know, don't you know what that feels like? So I have that one, and then the last face brush and the last one of the collection. Oh, nope, I have one more that's hiding back here. Not the last one. This one looks like a good buffing face brush. This is the JH12 Undercover Lover. This looks like a good like kabuki, or you could even do like bronzer maybe. It's like a for cream bronzer. I don't use cream bronzer, but I have a feeling after all the videos I've watched, this might be a good, it's very dense, a good brush for applying. I don't know. And then the last one for real is this one that is called the Best Light brush. I do believe the JH14. This is the Best Light. Now this is a very interesting brush. I have nothing in my collection like this. It's very, very long. I'm not sure like if this is for highlight. I'm very unsure on that, but it's called the Best Light brush. So, you know, you do whatever. I don't know. But those are all of the brushes. So I'm going to clean up my trash here, and then we'll come back and look at the palette. So now we're going to get to the good stuff that I'm very excited for, and this is the Jaclyn Hill X Morphe Divine Neutrals. On the back she wrote, "You know I love a neutral moment, whether it's a minimal look or a full smoky eye. This palette offers all the shades you need to create your perfect nude mood. I hope you love it as much as I do. XO Jaclyn Hill." So let's open up. It's a very beautiful unicarton. I really like this unicarton. Okay, so we're gonna unbox it. And it has this cardboard protector. This is what the palette looks like, just looks like the unicarton. We're gonna open it up. It's got the plastic protector, which is always good. So this is what the palette looks like. Very, very pretty, definitely an everyday type of thing. It does have a mirror. This is similar to her Vault collection, but I think it has like 2 more shades or maybe 4 more shades than her Vault collection, so it's a little bit longer and skinnier. So I like the size of the palette. It's just quick and easy. Reminds me a lot of the Nudie Patootie from Laura Lee. That's very much so what it reminds me of. So I have on a neutral shirt for a purpose. So we're going to dive into this today. And what I like about this palette is there's 2, 4, 6. There's 6 mattes and 6 shimmers, and each of them have it's a corresponding look. So like literally you could just put this, wash a color on, and then put a little bit of shimmer on the lid that goes with it and call it a day. So I do like that. Oh, I just got fingerprints all over the mirror. That's fine. So I do like that sense that you can, you know, make it really, really simple, like bam, out the door, or you could, you know, like she said, make it a very smoky look for a like night out if you wanted. So I'm not sure where I will be at, probably somewhere in between, but we're gonna go ahead and get started with this. I'm so excited, I'm like tongue twisted. And I am going to use her eye brushes, so I have these here ready to go. And I am going to start with, I believe, this shade called Just Barely. Just Barely. It's a really good transition shade, I do believe. And I'm going to take it on the JH45. I'm just going to dip right in. Kind of powdery, but not a ton of powder kick up. Doesn't bother me too much. So I'm just going to place that in my crease. And this is not going to provide a ton of pigment. It's more so for transition. But it does provide a little bit of coverage. I do like this brush since it's like a flat blending brush. I do think that is pretty unique to compared to what I usually use. So like I said, I am obviously using these for the first time, so I'm just trying to get a feel for them myself. But I feel like this is like a much more precise, like it's in my socket type thing, and I like that. I can really build up the crease with that. I'm just going to place that there. Like I said, it's not going to provide a ton of pigment, but you can see a difference in my eyes. Like that. So literally you could do this, put a light shimmer on it, and call it a day. So I like that it can be that simple. Now I think I'm going to go into the next shade, which is Good Vibes, this matte brown. And I like that it's like monochromatic. It goes from light to dark. I do like that. I don't know if monochromatic is the word there, but from light to dark, so it like makes sense. So I'm gonna just take that same exact brush, the JH45, and I'm just gonna dip into Good Vibes and place that right below, kind of right there in that crease, and build that up. It's a little bit more warmer. This is definitely a more warm toned neutral palette, I think. But I do really like this is literally just like right in my socket, and I really like that for blending. Like that. Do that on the other eye. That's the trash like crinkling from the brushes. And I'm just going to go back in. I'm just going to take that, whatever's left on the back of the brush, wipe that off, go back into the first shade, Just Barely, and just kind of smooth out that transition. Up to my brow bone there. I'm also going to add this first shade called Chic Happens right here. This one really goes with my shirt with the pink tones. I'm just going to also place that in the transition as a transition, just to really make sure it's not too harsh, which, I mean, they're neutral, so it's not going to be as horrible as other shades. And I will list all the products that I used for my base. Most of it was a mix of drugstore and then other Jaclyn Cosmetics products. Just to kind of keep it, you know, simple and all, like, cohesive. Like that. So now, just to kind of deepen it up and maybe make it a little bit more smoky, I am going to take the shade, let's do, I think, Booked. This one, it's a more warm toned chocolatey brown. And I'm just going to put that on the outer corner here. And to do that, I am going to go in with this one? The JH44. What's the box say? Shadow Hustle, or maybe you want to use, I'm gonna take this detailed brush because I don't do a ton of smoky looks out here, so I'm gonna use this to place the shadow, and then I will go in with a different brush to blend out that shadow. Then that way it's more controlled. So I'm just gonna go in here, and I'm just gonna pack that on. Notice I'm not blending, I'm just doing packing motions. I'm keeping that along the lash line. And actually I might be able to use this to blend out. Let's just try it and see. I mean, it's not like the best at blending, but that's also not its purpose. But you could totally use this to blend that out for a detailed blend. Yeah, I like that. Alright, so I'm going to do that on the other eye. Like that, and I think just to like give it a little punch, we're gonna go in the darkest shade, which is Cinnamon Roll right here. I'm gonna take this same brush and just place this right there, like truly at this outer area, and just stamp that there, and then just start smoking it out just a little, just to get a little bit more dimension to it, like that. You can see the difference there versus on this side. Then I'm going to go back in with this first blending brush and just kind of blend all of this together. Like that. And then I'm going to go back into this first shade, the Chic Happens, right here, and I'm just going to place that on that inner third with the, let's do this little shader brush. We'll do this one. This is the JH51. I'm just going to take that and kind of place that there to really make the kind of like a cut crease almost. Then I can really make those shimmers pop that I put right here in this area. So now we're going to get into the fun part, and we are going to get into the shimmers. So when we look at this, I used a bunch of different colors, but each of the mattes have a corresponding shimmer. So I think, let me really look here in my mirror how I want to do this. I think I'm going to go in with the shade, I'm feeling this Drippin' or Birthday Suit. This one's more of a yellow toned. And this one's more of a bronzy toned. Let's just swatch both of these. Same good quality that we know and love from Morphe. I'm like struggling to talk today. Oh, that's absolutely stunning. That's just like melted gold on my hand right now. And let's go into Drippin'. Yeah, I mean, absolutely beautiful. Let me just swatch all of these shimmers. So this is the All Luxe that's corresponding to the Chic Happens. I don't know if you can see that one well. Very pretty. So then we have Risque Business, which to me is like the darkest toned one right there. And then we have Striptease. I don't know the story behind the names. These are just what she decided to name it. There's Striptease there. I'm out of fingers. And we'll do Exposed. It's the last one. Exposed is it's a little cooler, but kind of similar to this one. So there's all the shimmers right there. Let me grab a makeup wipe. looking at these, I'm gonna go in with, I believe this one was Drippin', the more yellow gold one. We'll start there, and obviously I'll probably end up adding more, but we'll start there at least. Got my towel here to wipe off any other makeup. It's always good to just have a towel nearby. Just wipe your brush on it and be done. Or, you know, if you make a mess, just boom, you clean it up right there. So I'm gonna go in with this detailed brush here, the JH46, and I'm gonna just grab that Drippin' shade. I'm gonna start with it not wet on the brush, just to see how it performs dry. I'm just gonna start placing that right there. This actually may not be the best brush for it, but I'll try. It is pretty. Let me just try it with my fingers. Maybe it'll be better with my finger, because I mean it's super intense on your finger, but on that brush, oh yeah, that's a gajillion times better already. So finger application, which is usual for any type of shimmer, not just these. Yes, that's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to put just this here, and then I'm going to go in with my other finger, and I'm going to pick up the All Luxe, the lightest one, and kind of bring these two together. This one's really good for like brightening the inner part of your eye. A good inner corner highlight as well. Yeah, that's stunning. I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye, but this time I'm going to wet my fingers with some setting spray. So I will use the Morphe Continuous Mist Setting Spray. Definitely makes it much more metallic and intense, as would any shimmer. So just like keep that in mind. Let me do my other finger. I also like using the setting spray because it like helps melt it onto your eyelid. It just makes it much more smooth and easy to work with, in my opinion, anyway. Yeah, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, so now I'm just going to take a little bit of this darker shimmer, the Exposed, and I'm just going to put that on the outer, just a little bit, just to give a little something. So let me grab, well actually I'll just use my finger. I'm just going to, not doing too much, just a smidgen. That's so pretty. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it does make a difference. Ugh, so pretty. Like, I mean, this is how you can make it super glam if you wanted, or like I said, you can totally, and just like she said, you can totally just make it very simple. So I love that. So I'm just gonna finish up blending with that first brush. I'm just gonna go back in with that Chic Happens and just really blend out these edges. Yes, I love that. I love the way that looks. And obviously you don't need this palette to do it with. There are several like easy drugstore. I mean, this is like a really good price. It's kind of like drugstore pricing, but you don't need this palette. It's nothing special per se, but I mean, in my opinion, you can never have enough neutral palettes, and that seems to be the consensus across the beauty community because everyone keeps making them and everyone keeps buying them, so we clearly must love them. So now I'm going to grab some mascara really quick, And I'm just going to use my Sky High as usual. Let that dry, and while I let that dry, I'm going to go back in with this pencil brush. I'm going to just wipe off that dark shade on my handy dandy towel here. And I'm going to actually use this for my inner corner highlight, which is going to be that All Luxe. Just take a little bit of that and pop that right there. It's not like the best color for inner corner highlight. It's definitely more of a pink shade, but it's the lightest shade, so for some of us you could totally get away with it. But yeah, it's the lightest shade in the palette. So if it doesn't work for you, you would have to use like your highlighter or grab another like lighter color from another palette. So there is the finished eye look. I'll kind of get up close here. And then I'm going to finish off the entire look by using the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Just like so. Gonna let that dry. I'm gonna go in with my sponge and just kind of set everything in place. I like to do this right after I apply setting spray, just to kind of melt everything into my complexion. Like so. So this completes today's look. I hope you enjoyed it. I've got some weird stuff going on there with that one lash. Looks like a dagger is coming right out of my eyeball, so cool. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. I had so much fun just playing with new stuff. I have literally just been like, oh my gosh, I need to film this video. I want to play with this stuff so bad. And I did go into work for a couple hours today at Dollar General, and as soon as I parked my car, I mowed the yard for the last time of the season, I'm hopeful, and I was like, you know what, this is it. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna film this video. So I am super glad I made time to do that today, because this stuff has been sitting on my vanity here for like 2.5, 3 weeks. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please comment, have you tried these brushes? Have you tried these palettes? Is there anything else that I should be looking for at Morphe that you also think is fantastic? I would love to know. Please share this video out with your friends. Just share it on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and really put my name out there. Really helps me out to continue to be motivated to film this content for you, because like I said, this is for you, but also for me, because this is my time to just like sit down, escape from life, and just play with makeup and be creative, or be simple and creative. So please subscribe to this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!